Humphrey here with Rebel News, standing in Edgewood, British Columbia on November 7th, the day after a massacre of healthy ostriches occurred just behind me at Universal Ostrich Farm. Not a single one is left. Their lives and the livelihoods of the farmers who own this farm were destroyed. Rebel News was on site and captured much of that in raw fashion. The heartbreak of the farmers and their supporters, the separation, and what almost seemed like tactics to make them snap. This might be the end of the road for the ostriches, but it's just the beginning of the battle for the farmers to change the Canadian Food Inspection Agency's policy that excuses killing healthy animals, healthy herds, in the name of a flu, in this case, that they caught a year ago. You can find all of the coverage we had from yesterday, and I encourage you to do so and share at our new website called AvengeTheOstriches.com. But for now, I want to throw to some of the supporters about the heartbreaking moments from yesterday. First, what was last night like for you?
Hell. It was literal hell on earth.
Devastated. It feels we've got this empty pit. Not only for the animals, for this family, but for this country.
So I feel that they've been heartless ever since they got here. No compassion. Why couldn't they let the family in just to say goodbye? Just something simple as that. It was tragic. Like, if you heard those shots, you could almost actually hear the flesh, like the shoot and then the splat. Like, that's like, that's people are never, ever gonna forget that.
It was surreal, to be honest. I was like, no, there's no way this is happening. I have it all on video. It was horrific. It was just shot after shot after shot. It was like, it sounded like they had two kind of weapons. Like, one just was like a pew, and then the other one was kind of like choo choo choo. So I don't know what exactly they were using out there. It was not humane at all.
It's just horrific. I've been all over this planet for 40 years on drilling rigs and gas and oil, and I've seen some horrific things and been involved in some I've never ever thought that would come to our soil.
It was just brutal. It was so traumatizing. I feel the trauma of reliving the trauma of losing my son in a motorcycle accident 5 years ago. My mom and dogs that I've lost, and just the value of life in Canada is not here anymore. People are supposed to be protectors of innocent animals, and those ostriches were healthy and they were engaging with us, and they should have not been sacrificed. And all the money that they have spent here, it only can mean one thing, that there's much more money to be made with them dead than alive. That's the only possible explanation for what has gone on here.
This was really hard on people, and this is hard for some people to understand. But for many, seeing those animals get gunned down is the same as humans getting gunned down. Like, a life is a life, is a life. And so people were in a lot of pain and misery witnessing that last night, and that was palpable. You could feel it. So having them have to be up here and not with the rest of us to at least process and be together was, like I said, just adding insult to injury.
The show that they put on for the public in their little outfits and stuff, knowing the birds weren't sick, absolutely disgusts me. I grew up in Canada feeling proud, and now I just want out, because what I witnessed here yesterday is absolutely disgusting. That word doesn't even make sense. We got to make a new word up for how awful it was yesterday, watching 200 plus people bear witness to the slaughter of healthy animals and the family literally screaming.
How do you move forward? As you said, you were here hoping for another miracle. Now they're gone. What's the next step for you guys?
This is just the beginning for me. I believe those birds sacrificed their lives for people to wake up and realize what's going on. CFIA is an entity of their own. They answer to no one. They're evil. I mean, 6 weeks we saw these ostriches lose weight instead of get healthier for winter, drinking out of muddy puddles, pushing them around with sticks. They were not treated kindly. It was animal cruelty, 100%. They need to pay for what they've done. They need to pay for the way this was not done in a humane way at all. It was awful. And I don't know who the heck they had doing it, but they're heartless. These ostriches were healthy and happy. They were literally dancing around, running around, and then into the pen they went, and it was over.
Where do we go from here? We have to chase this down. We have to change policy. We have to do something, or there's not going to be anything left in this country for anybody, and it's going to cost you your arm and a leg to feed your families.
This fight after the CFIA, they're not going to get away with this. We're going to expose them. We're going to expose the RCMP that were a part of this, hiding it, mismanagement. So yeah, we're hoping to get a lot of support on that date and expose them. It's going to be the launch. So this is just the beginning.
I know that the ones that have been here, including you and your family, they came here to help make a difference. And when you feel like you didn't make the difference, that hurts. But I do know one thing: God is bigger, and we are not done yet. We're not done yet. The fight's still on.
This fight will continue. The CFIA needs to be put in its place. They have no oversight. There is no one that they are accountable to. No agency should have that kind of control over people's property. No. They don't have to have facts. They just have to have a suspicion. Yeah. And a suspicion, since when, is a suspicion a death sentence?
Of course, I knew where my heart was and what I wanted, with the result that I wanted, but I was prepared for either scenario. I was prepared for this outcome emotionally as well, right? Knowing that it was a possibility.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to spin out of control. I'm not going to project hatred onto these people. It's like, how does the intensity of this situation stir my soul to evolve?
Is it?
Right? That's really, because it has to be productive. And like, this is a battle, but there's going to be many more. Like, just feel into what's happening in Canada and around the world. Right? This is not our last stand, not even close. And my faith is unshaken. And I'll take everything that I feel and learn from here and just use that as more inspiration, motivation to like just bring more of myself forwards.
As you can see, there's very strong emotions, understandably, about what took place, and there's no faith in this agency anymore. People saw this agency neglect a hen. They saw them use the tax dollars to come here before the farmers had the chance to apply to Supreme Court when they knew they were going to, and they sat here with so many resources, including the RCMP, for 40 days because the farmers were able to at least explore that option. They blacked out cameras. It appears they pretended to give life-saving electrolytes to a hen. And now they've slayed hundreds of ostriches. There's so much to unpack. If you're just getting involved in the story, I encourage you to go to our special website called avengetheostriches.com and to share what speaks to you. Drea Humphrey with Rebel News.